Welcome to Keto and Crime. Today, we've got a great video for you. We're going to be jumping into the world of secret societies.
Protect me! Oh God! They know I know! I'm in the network! Why isn't my head wrapped in tin foil?
Mr. Gribble, we're going to need you to calm down. Look at me.
It's going to be fun. I know you've heard about these all your life. I've heard about these all my life. I decided to do a deep dive and see what I could find out. So, buckle up. We're going to get into it. If it's your first time here, my name is Tracy. I do true crime, dark history, horror, and sci-fi movie reviews. And I love talking about weird stuff. So I upload twice a week. So I really appreciate you being here. And one thing we know that there is a society that is not so secret and that you can be a part of. And that is joining the thousands of satisfied customers of this video's sponsor, Coffee Brand Coffee. I mean, let's face it, fall is here. It's colder, it's darker, and you just need that inner warm up. Well, how do I get mine? And that is from my good friend Jeremy and his great crew over at Coffee Brand Coffee. Go to coffeebrandcoffee.com for the best selection of light, medium, dark roast, flavored coffees, cold brews, hot chocolate, teas. These things are awesome and they are shipped conveniently to your door with huge discounts for auto ship and free shipping. So if you're a coffee lover like me and I start my day with two 20-ounce mugs of coffee without fail, and then I just can go up or down from there. But they've got everything from light to medium, dark roast. They've even got 2-time caffeine if you really need that pick me up. But I'm more basic over here. Y'all know that from watching me. And I am a fan of the flavored coffees. They've got bourbon, blueberry cobbler, strawberries and cream. This will change your life. And the creamsicle is great as well. S'mores is awesome. And they've got a brand new brand coming out just for the fall, and that is the Sicky Cinnamon Bun, and they've got the Spiked Jack-o'-lantern, which is their take on pumpkin spice. Let me just tell you, all of these are great. I have the strawberries and cream every day, and it is awesome. So just a little bit of cream, a little bit of monk fruit sweetener, and I am literally in heaven. I can't say enough good things about Coffee Brand Coffee. No politics, no gimmicks, just great coffee every time and delivered conveniently to your door. And if you use my code, Keto and Crime, you will get 10% off of your order. So if you love coffee, give it a try. And thanks so much to Jeremy and Coffee Brand Coffee for sponsoring this video. Secret societies have existed throughout history, often as exclusive, closed groups with hidden agendas and initiation rituals. Think of them as fraternities or sororities that have long surpassed or transcended, being in college. So we're going to look at an overview of what a secret society is, what their overall purpose is, kind of what they do, and then we're going to delve into some of the more well-known secret societies and talk about them throughout history and into the modern day. So basically what you have to know about secret societies, they've been around since the dawn of time. And some of the earliest known ones go all the way back to ancient Egypt in something known as the Egyptian mystery schools, which were elite academies for the most elite among Egyptian societies. They were known for their exclusive memberships, hidden rituals, and not so clear agendas, which is where we get into a lot of the conspiracy theories of today that prelude to these secret societies. So, what are the purpose of a secret society? What motivates an individual to join or to even want to be invited to join? And that can be summed up in a couple of words: influence, power, and on top of that, probably money. So that is exclusively what motivates people, is to meet people that can help them succeed. Now, I think you're probably already thinking, well, only the rich and powerful join these things anyway, and you wouldn't be incorrect. It's a broken correlation effect. You in the secret societies, particularly the ones that we're going to talk about, you will only find very successful, and that can vary depending on what secret society you're talking about. But they're going to be successful in whatever they do. They're probably going to be richer than the average bear, and they're certainly going to have more power than me. And so only people that exhibit those three things will be found in a secret society. But not all successful, rich, or powerful members are in a secret society. So you got to think of it. It's not that you have to be in a secret society to achieve success, but only successful people are in secret societies, if that makes sense. Like I said, it's a broken correlation there for sure. And just so you know, just because I'm delving in and explaining what these secret societies are does not mean that I promote them, that I'm in agreement with them, or that I'm a member of them. Please don't let that get out there. Get out, because if I was, I certainly wouldn't be sitting here in a 5-year-old tie-dye t-shirt talking to you from my home office. So I am not promoting them. I'm not If you are a believer in the conspiracy theories surrounding these societies, I'm not trying to poo-poo your beliefs. I'm only explaining what I was able to find. So, now one of the main things that secret societies have in common is their reliance on symbols and rituals. All of these secret societies, especially the ones we're going to talk about, have initiation events, and they have very secret rituals that mean something to their members and correlate with what their members look for when they join a society. A lot of these people that are in them, like I said, they're some of the most powerful people among us, and the fact that they go to these societies where they're perhaps not as powerful, where they're having to kowtow to a leader of the secret society, it's kind of like the most powerful people like to be dominated in their private life. So it kind of correlates with that. So they have all these rituals that date back to their origins and really puts out a sense of camaraderie among the members. And the majority of these secret societies are paternal. That is, they are mostly men. There is one that does have a separate organization affiliated with it for females, but the vast majority of these are going to be 95% male. So if you want to scream about the patriarchy, go ahead. I'll pause here for a second to allow you to do that. It's not because these secret societies are necessarily sexist, but they all have a history dating back centuries. We're men, we're very definitely in control of civilizations, built civilizations, before women got the equal rights that we have today. So if we want female secret societies, we need to join hands. We need to go create them because it's fairly a new phenomenon. So they have these rituals that are very almost religious in their origins and mean something very deep to these members. They also use symbols, much like the one behind me that's actually part of what's on our dollar bill, because some of the members of these societies were among our founding fathers, and these symbols meant something to them. But symbols have always been a way that humans have communicated, from cave art in primitive man to the Egyptian hieroglyphics to the the corporate logos that we see today. Symbols show strength, power, unity, and denote feelings of any emotion you can pinpoint. A symbol can be constructed around that. So these symbols, much like the one behind me, are used in these secret societies to communicate and purvey what their actual agenda or what their actual organization is for. So secret societies continue to use those to up until this point. Now, to really understand rituals and how a lot of these symbols relate to different things, we're going to have to delve into some of the more well-known secret societies. I know that's kind of a paradox of well-known secret societies, but some of them, we very we do know that they exist. And so we're going to talk about some of the most well-known and talk about their historical significance and what ceremonies and symbols are important to them. So let's dive into the first secret society we're going to talk about, and that is one of the earliest American ones. It is only preceded by one more that we'll discuss on this list, and that is the Skull and Bones. And that was founded in 1832 at Yale University. If you've ever seen the 1990s movie The Skulls in that movie were loosely based on Skull and Bones. So it's very elite, it's invitation only, and they have all kinds of secret rituals. But it was founded in 1832 after a dispute among Yale debating societies, Leonona and Brothers in Unity and the Carpathian Society over some fraternal measure. So basically, a contingent of these students, William Huntington Russell and Alonzo Taft, backed out of these established campus organizations and founded the Order of the Skull and Bones. And ever since then, it has been designated that only male members of the Yale University campus from fine pedigree families are allowed to join. And just like is exhibited in the movie The Skulls, they receive an invitation and they go through the same kind of hazing and initiation rituals that a lot of fraternities do. Now, what does the secret society do? They allow for communication and fraternal bonding among their members. And some of the members of the Skull and Bones, like I said, are some of the most influential people in society, such as George W. Bush. He was a member of the Skull and Bones. And Skull and Bones has the designation or distinction of the ones on this list to not be fully male. It does not have a separate organization like the other one on this list does for females. Skull and Bones, starting in the 90s, actually started tapping women. And to date, there have been 7 women members of the Skull and Bones. They live in, pretty much in the open at Yale University. Their headquarters is known as the Tomb, and it resembles an ancient church, an ancient temple of sorts, and that is where they do all of their initiations, all of their rituals, and where they meet with both current members and previous members. And I'm sure a lot of business and a lot of political stuff gets done among the members of this club. I mean, I'm not going to say that they control a lot of things, but their members certainly do. And I'm sure a lot of deals get cut, as we well know, at meetings among these rich and powerful people. The second secret society we're going to talk about is not really a secret society on its own. It is a label for what people think a secret society is, and it's heavily tied in with conspiracy theory. You can't talk about conspiracy theory without talking about secret societies, and particularly this secret society known as the Illuminati. The Illuminati is actually several different secret societies, both real and fictitious. Like I said, a lot of fuzz and a lot of static around this particular society, but the original name goes back to the Bavarian Illuminati and the Enlightenment era secret society, which was founded in early Germany, in 18th century Germany. The society's stated goals were to oppose superstition and obscurantism, the joining of religion with the government. So they wanted, the separation of church and state, and they wanted to prevent the abuses of state power. And a lot of very successful, powerful Germans joined this society. But it kind of gets looped in with other secret societies, such as the Freemasons, which we're going to talk about, and the Catholic Church, believe it or not, because there's long been an understanding that the Catholic Church is part of the Illuminati and has its own version of a secret society, for the most highly placed members, think the Vatican. So all of this kind of culminates in what we know today as the Illuminati. The actual Bavarian Illuminati is really a shell of its former self, but like I said, this name gets thrown around and is most often synonymous with the New World Order and most powerful people among it, based on how they might put their hand on a table. Anytime you see a celebrity throw this kind of hand symbol, they're Illuminati. And it's just, that's the natural way a hand looks, people. If you put it on a table or something like that, you're going to get that curve. It does not mean they're Illuminati. Like I said, the Illuminati as we think it exists does not exist. It's an amalgamation of several different societies that people think probably have more power than they do. So that is Illuminati. One of the main groups that gets associated with the Illuminati is our next group that is actually a secret society. It's more of a private United Nations, if that makes sense, and that is the Bilderberg Group. Basically, it's not a secret society as we know it, like the Skull and Bones. It is a private UN. It is composed of European and North American political elites and the captains of industry that have an annual conference beginning in 1954 to foster dialogue between Europe and North America. And they discuss everything from the free market, capitalism, and global interests around the world. And this is where a lot of the New World Order stuff comes in. I understand why. That sounds very creepy. It's kind of like the World Economic Forum, and their Great Reset that strikes fear and makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand up when I read about it. So I understand how all these powerful people meeting and probably deciding the fate of the world or at least of their countries. Yeah, it's a little disconcerting. But basically, it's about 120 to 150 attendees. They use parliamentary procedure, and there has been a meeting every year except 1975 and 2020 and 2021 in Europe, and is presided over by members of, right now, the Norwegian royal family. One of their descendants or one of their family members is over it, and it's slotted to meet in 2023 in Lisbon. So not a whole lot is known about it. They do keep their agendas fairly secret, but it is captains of industry and the members of elite royal families discussing how to get along better with I think a private United Nations. I know that this one right here can be scary stuff. The next secret society is one that operates in pretty much plain sight on a 2,700-acre campground in Northern California, and that is known as the Bohemian Grove Society. It has been around since the early 20th century, and it is basically an all-male membership, and they meet a couple of times a year, mainly for their Spring Jinx is the most famous one, the one where you've seen a lot of pictures and stuff of their very weird rituals, which includes taking off your clothes and dancing around a statue. It's very disconcerting. I'll drop some footage here. But basically, these members are the most powerful people in the world. Actors from, Cary Grant to Barack Obama in politics. Anybody, President Reagan was a member of it. Anybody that is anybody is a member of this group. And women do attend the meetings, so they have to be off the property by 10 p.m. because they're not actually members, but they can be there for some of the meetings. So take from that what you will. But it's clouded in mystery. There has been a lot of videos and movies made about them. Alex Jones very famously infiltrated them a few years ago and got some actual video and got into some trouble for it, but I'm glad that he did. And from what we know, things like the Manhattan Project was planned there, as well as lots of other political decisions came to fruition through discussions at the Bohemian Grove.
Here you can see the bottom of the stone owl with the altar and the eternal flame, a Aladdin lamp style urn that continually burns year around, we're told. Keep in mind the scale of the idol compared to those giant redwood trees. It's at least 45 feet tall. This is America, and it's been going on for 120 plus years in Northern California. This is not some new fad. We're talking about something deadly serious with its roots in ancient history.
So yes, people that live near there, we're talking the San Francisco Bay Area, they say that it's very weird, and it's even for San Francisco standards, some of the things they do are pretty gay. That's an actual quote from a San Francisco historian. So, it's weird, it's secretive. But we can gather that a lot of important decisions get made there because you're talking about the elite 1% that make up this organization. A little more to the working class, middle class. The Next Secret Society has members of all walks of life, and it also has a separate organization for women, and that is the Freemasons. Uh, in the United States, this is probably the most well known and one of the ones also associated with the Illuminati. I actually know Freemasons. I work for a Freemason, and he's a great dude and has always been fair with me. But basically, the history of the Freemasons go all the way back to the end of the 14th century in Europe, where stonemasons formed trade unions, and the Freemasons sprang out of that. Now, there are some articles and research that try to tie them all the way back to the Knights Templar, which is a Catholic organization that used to protect the relics of the Holy Land from the Muslims during the Crusades, though that historic link has not been, kind of solidified. But basically, the rites of Freemasonry are some of the most well documented. They operate in countries and cities all over the world, and they do possess a belief in a supreme being, not necessarily the Judeo-Christian God, but they all have to believe in a supreme being, and they often meet at a place called a lodge. They are supervised by a grand lodge that takes care of a region, and they are presided over by the head mason. And a lot of them go through initiation rituals, they have religious ceremonies, and they convey different levels of Freemasonry. As you advance through, you learn more about the organization. And their members are slavishly loyal. You can often tell them by the Masonic ring that a lot of them wear, and it's probably the most accessible secret society to the average man. Now, in the United States, the Freemasons were started by Benjamin Franklin. Both he and George Washington's were members. Freemasonry is built upon principles of morality, brotherhood, self-improvement. They believe that one is never complete, that you always have to strive for excellence, and I can get behind that. I really do. And they continue to be a very open secret society. I mean, I've talked to many of them about the stuff that they do. I'll try to get one of them to come on for an interview, and they'll tell you all about it. They'll tell you all about their tenets. You just can't know a whole lot about their ceremonies. Now, are these people as powerful as the other secret societies? Probably not. But you do find a lot of movers and shakers, even up to the 1% that are Freemasons, and they do have a lot of influence. Absolutely, but this one is definitely the most popular one within the United States. And I bet you know a Freemason in your real life. You may not know that you know a Freemason, but I'm almost willing to bet that most of you know at least one Freemason in your life. And so that is a delve into what a secret society is. And I thought Halloween would be the perfect opportunity to talk about them. They're shrouded in mystery. And because of the prominence of a lot of their members, a lot of important decisions get made for all of us within the confines of these societies. Now, do I think that these societies have like global domination as part of their agenda? No, I don't. But I do believe that certain members might have those feelings, and decisions towards that end might get made there. I mean, that's obvious. So take everything you hear about secret societies with a grain of salt. It's there's a lot of conspiracy, but basically what I told you, even though as boring as it is, these societies are simply fraternal organizations that have rituals and symbols and allow their members to network, and a lot of important decisions get made by their members by virtue of their status. Sometimes the truth is a lot less flashy than theory. But I hope you enjoyed this. I'll be back very, very soon with another video. And until next time, keep doing crime.